Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. That clock must be a little slow.
Clock is slow.
Okay. Kristen, would you take attendance, please?
Brad Bassick,
I'm here.
Ed Repay,
Here.
Joe Skavark,
Here.
Nicole Kelly, Jen Wilson, John Novosich, Irene Morellis,
Here.
Carly Morris,
Here.
Christian Bartholomew,
Here.
Robin Arbonitis.
All right. First up, approval of the minutes from the August 6, 2025 meeting.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of our meeting from last month.
Okay. We have
Second.
a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Joe, did you say aye?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Motion carries 3-0. Moving on. John, any correspondence?
None?
Okay. Any reports from staff today?
Start with Carly.
I don't have anything today.
Okay.
Nice.
Irene?
The tournament, ASA?
Oh, the ASA tournament is not happening. We were originally supposed to have it this weekend, but they did not get enough signups, so.
Oh, bummer.
Bummer.
Yeah. But hopefully we can work with them in the future.
Cool.
Was that a tournament just here, or is that one kind of hosted by Crown Point and they're renting courts or leasing fields all over?
No, they're based out of Chicago, so
Oh,
it would
that's
have just
Chicago,
been
yeah, I
here.
remember talking about that.
16.
Yeah, you can't trust them.
Okay.
You done? I don't have anything to talk about right now. So.
Okay. Kristen?
Nope. Not at this time.
Okay. Okay. John?
Thank you, Mr. President. I had forwarded the comments from our last study session on Ileana to the consultant, and we'll be having a Zoom meeting with them on Friday.
Okay.
Though they're working on a draft of the master plan, they're going to incorporate those comments, both our study sessions. The contractor's still working on the tennis courts at Foxwood North and Stevens Park, so hopefully that will be done next week.
Oh, great.
Rolling Hills Park, Public Works excavated the old trail. They're going to, prep that for pavement, concrete sidewalks that were getting done out there. There were certain sections that were concrete sidewalks as far from the street to the shelter and shelter to the playground, and the path for the fountain has been poured. So we hope that project will be wrapped up this month.
Awesome.
Maintenance staff, they will be demoing the playground surface at Grimmer next week, and we hope to get that. We have the port in place scheduled for the end of next week. And as you and Ed might have seen at Elm Creek, we're going to be reseeding that and
Yep.
doing that. But
Saw that.
there were so many weeds that grew in there from that project that we felt it was best just to start from scratch and
Okay.
start over rather than trying just to overseed it. So
Sure.
hopefully it won't look like that much longer.
Two quick things on that. I had someone in the neighborhood approach my family, knowing that I'm on the board. One, they brought up the seed, so they just want to say thank you that you guys are doing that. The other thing that they mentioned was they've been getting a lot of geese poop all over the park and the playground, and to the point where Tito lives there, and it's his mom, and she's actually out there cleaning it up and then scrubbing it by hand, because Tito touches everything and he doesn't always see the best, so he doesn't always understand what he's touching, and so, or maybe he can't, maybe it's not an understanding issue, he just can't see what he's touching. I don't know to what extent we could put, I know we can't control, obviously we can't control what the geese do, but I don't remember where it is, but I think we've got a deterrent at some parks. I know we have one by the splash pad, but I'm just curious if there's anything we could do.
Well, we do have a decoy that we could put out there.
Okay.
It may have some effectiveness, but it's very difficult situation to control. I know sometimes you could put like again, it may not be the most ideal thing around the playground, but sometimes you could put like a string or a rope about a foot high around the perimeter And sometimes if you hang ribbon on that, they don't want to jump over or cross that.
Okay.
That could possibly be something we could look at, although you don't want to be creating any type of, tripping or,
Yeah. We did tell her to reach out, so that she's not the one having to scrub it. And I guess she called and somebody talked to her and said, yeah, reach out in the future. But
Yeah, that was me. I talked to her a little bit earlier. And
Okay.
I already let maintenance know to get out there and get it cleaned up as best they can in the meantime.
awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
but, I mean, it's going to be.
I just don't know if there's anything we can do.
It's going to be a repeated, action. And,
Yeah.
Time of year.
The last few weeks, it's just been more prevalent. It's kind of ironic that it was kind of at the end of last week or right before that with the splash pad. Luckily, the weather was kind of cooling off a bit, but it was, starting to see more geese activity around the splash pad. I noticed that Beedrin coming here, there was maybe a couple
Yeah.
dozen geese.
Yep.
So we're starting to see more of them in the park at this point of the year, and anything you could put on the turf, is very limited, because if there's a rain, it washes it away, and it's maybe, a treatment to do like Worman ball fields would probably be like $1,000 to do all the ball fields, and I don't know how long that would last.
I understand. Yeah.
Dogs are effective if you have neighbors that have dogs, but who's out there at that park consistently?
There's a guy that lives right next to it. Like, I
With
think
my
we should
dog,
nominate
too.
him to
With
patrol.
my dog.
Yeah.
We will hire your canine. Very well in Mill
Just,
Bones.
no, but
Those geese land in the center and start eating, and they eat from the park through the park facility, cross Pershing, and go into the neighbor's yard
Yeah.
across the street, and then they come back and do the same thing every day. I watch them.
so just
It's the time of year too. I mean, that's what geese do right now.
And it's kind of surprising though, because like Novoselo, which we'll be getting into, has a couple ponds nearby, but unless you go kind of back in the woods of Autumn Creek there, maybe they're coming from that direction, but at this point.
I'm not sure.
I've seen them in Reeder, I'm seeing them in places I've never really seen them before, so.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure I passed along
Yeah.
her comments while we were talking about Autumn Creek. So, cool. Any other reports?
You know what, can I go back to me? I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I just wanted to know that, or to let you guys know that we had the Pensy and Performers event
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago. I don't know if any of you were able to go or stop by,
We were out
drive
of town.
by, anything
Yeah.
like that. Okay. It was extremely hot that weekend.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So on Friday, when the sun started to go down, we started to get a bit of a crowd. Saturday was just as hot, but it also stormed. The storm came in, it stopped. We continued, we had a small crowd, but it wasn't what we anticipated. So we're hoping to move the date into September for next year.
I was going to suggest that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Just
You're
because
on top of it.
August is, a hard month.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I mean, besides that, there wasn't any real issues. We had a meeting about it after the fact. There were a couple of things, that we talked about to tweak, but besides that, it's just the weather
Yeah.
that was against us this time. So we're hoping next
Absolutely.
year we have a better year,
Good.
more successful. Yeah.
Good. Awesome.
Questions about it? No?
No, thanks for everything you guys did for it.
Inform you about the next couple events we got coming up.
Yes. So Friday, we have Fiesta in the Park. That is from 5 to 10:30. The movie they're playing is Coco. I believe that starts usually when the sun goes down, so it's probably going to be between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. There is, the following week is Country Affair, the Saturday. That is from, from 11 to 4, I think? Yeah, 11 to 4? Okay, yeah. So that one we'll be doing, we'll be selling pumpkins at that one. And there would just be like a whole bunch of mini games for kids. That's another event too we're gonna kind of push more on, especially for next year. But it's kind of, they're all kind of stagnant where they're at this year. And then beyond that, I think our next event isn't till Craft Show, I believe.
Pokemon Party in the park.
Ah, yes, I'm sorry. We rescheduled that. That was supposed to be the beginning of the year, or the summer. So yes. Do you know what the date?
I believe it's October 3rd.
Yeah, that sounds about
Cool.
right. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, Yeah, so we're doing steady so far
That's great.
there, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we got a lot to report on later, so
awesome.
we'll get there.
I'm excited to hear it.
Thank you.
Any other reports from staff? Anybody? Are we going, we're doing like a snake draft? It's all the way back down again. That's okay. All right, moving on. Any old business? Moving on to new business. Consider acceptance of the proposal for the Novicello playground installation. John, you want to walk us through that and give us your recommendation?
Sure. As you might recall, we had purchased the equipment and surfacing already for this project. This is going to be the installation portion as well as removing the old equipment. There will be some additional, not a lot, but some little bit of additional sidewalk work put in with this, and of course, restoration of the surrounding grass and area. We got 3 proposals for this project. The low price proposal was Ann Burnett Construction, and they had done the work at Foxwood North and South this year. Done a very good job, and I would recommend that they be accepted as the contractor for this job.
Okay. There's a very wide variance between the top bid and the bottom bid. So you're saying we have experience with Ann Bernard, so, and you're comfortable with them
Yeah, they
outside
did,
of just the low bid?
Yeah, they did
Okay.
actually Trace Park,
Okay,
Lake of the Meadows, Fox Run.
awesome.
Randolph, they're not that far from here. He's familiar with, this is going to be very similar to the two Foxwoods where we're keeping most of that concrete slab and the equipment's going to be surface mounted onto the concrete.
Okay,
So he's kind of familiar and has a better idea how long it's going to take. The other companies, some of these are coming out of Illinois, so
Gotcha.
there may be travel time where they may have a lot on their plate.
I gotcha. Okay.
With that in mind, Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the playground demo and installation to Ann Bernard Construction for $27,200 for Novocello.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Okay. And then we got to talk some fees.
Yes, this is the one part of the meeting. And staff's been working very hard to get really a broad range of fees that our local park districts or departments in Northwest Indiana and even across the border are charging for some of the facilities, similar facilities that we have. We are looking at and proposing at, obviously we're looking at ways that we can increase revenue for next year's general budget, but really it's a good time for us to look at all our fees, looking back at when we did this last. It's been 5-6 years since we did the community center and some of the other ball fields, 2018, 2019, 2020. So we looked at the shelter rentals, community center rentals, ball field rentals, and we also went and reviewed and amended our activity fee schedule, which is pretty much for the programs and pertains to the non-reverting fund. The ball field rentals, shelter, and community center are revenue that's generated into the park general fund. We're not proposing any increases in showmobile fees. And that's about the only other fees we have, right? Impact fee, we did a study on, and that was done fairly recently. So, with that being said, we'll start with Carly. You should have your first sheet, should be the local ball field.
Okay.
Okay, so we looked at all of the different facilities surrounding us. We even looked a little bit into Cook County, but close Cook County. We have them here from lowest to highest, and then in the green is currently what our fee structure is for Rorman. So we actually have a 2-hour minimum, but we broke it down as hourly just because a lot of other neighboring facilities do an hourly rate. We do not. So currently we're at 35. We have, for an hour, we do a 2-hour minimum, so it's 70. We have 2 different proposed rates that we would like to increase to. And you guys, we kind of just want a direction of what you think would be the better of the 2. With the first being proposed A, that would be a 21% increase, a little more, 15 as the dollar amount. And then below it, you can see, based off of our revenue from previous years, what that increase would look like and the difference. And then one of them is $15 more and one is $30. Do you guys have any questions on that so far?
Yeah, Carly, I do. Just generally, the rate per hour that you have going left to right across the top, are those real numbers from somebody that is in business or in?
Yes, all of these numbers are real based off facilities around us.
Okay.
And this is just where we are on that scale.
So I've got somebody renting a ball field for 20, and I got somebody renting a ball field for 100?
Per hour, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to understand what I was looking at.
And then along with that, we're also looking next year to implement some banner sponsorships that we would like to do at Rorman. That's the following page as well. It's listed at the bottom. We're thinking a $500 fee per banner, and that would be from April to October. Does that fee sound feasible to you guys?
Is that banners you would put like on the outfield fences?
So where we would put them is at the entrance to the ball fields, kind of right where the main entrance is. Just because there's a lot of traffic over there, that's where it's probably going to get seen the most as well.
Right.
So, I'm sorry, it's going to be seen from the parking lot or from the road?
From the parking lot. But from conversations that at least John and I have had, we figured that it'd be more, the most traffic you're going to see is from tournaments. You can't see it if you don't go in. You know, I guess not everyone's looking off of the road sometimes. I feel it's just best to have it as you're walking into the complex.
Yeah. Okay.
And based on putting it kind of as you enter, do you have any estimate as to what would be the maximum amount we might be able to rent or lease or whatever the word is?
Not necessarily. I think we kind of want to see first if we get a bite with it at all.
Sure.
And then from there, kind of see how that goes. In a perfect world, I'd say no more than 10, 5 on each side.
So, just a thought on this is, I don't know why we couldn't do both. Have some visible from the road, right? And then some visible as you walk in, and charge a different rate, right? The road signs are going to be seen more by people driving down Rorman or running along the bike path that runs that way. And those could charge a more premium rate. And then you can have some that are just inside the ballpark, and those might be offered at a discount. I don't know why we wouldn't just offer all of it. That would be my thought. Yeah, I kind of think we have to test the waters with it to see what people would be willing to pay, right? Maybe, if you think I think 500 is reasonable. I can't imagine this is something that like an individual person is going to be buying. This is something businesses are going to be using to advertise. So
This is another one, too, that we did extensive research on what other facilities are charging as well. And
So I
that's
think-
kind of how we came up with that 500 number.
yeah, I would say maybe 500 if it's visible inside the park, and maybe 750 to have it visible from the street. That would be my initial thought. But if we're going to do one, I don't see why we wouldn't do the other. Got a lot of frontage there. And especially during those months, there's a lot of traffic, especially on the bike path. I feel like we'd be missing out on revenue if we didn't do that.
Do you guys have any other questions on specifically the ball field rate?
Yeah, I'm just trying to follow. So let's look at the last one, projection of 2025 practice rental revenue. The increase is 21% or 42%, depending on whether it's A or B. The increase is 15. So I was looking at the current Rorman rate that's highlighted in green at 35, and proposed A at 42.50, and proposed B is 50. Where do you come up with the 15 and 30? Where's that from?
Because we have a 2-hour minimum, so it's 70.
Okay.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
I was thinking the same thing I was gonna point out. This was kind of in all these comparisons, we're trying to get an apples to apples, comparison as much as possible. What you find out is there's a few places that maybe have a 2-hour minimum or 2-hour. We do a 2-hour.
Right.
Most of them do an hour. So we're trying to, it's a little more difficult when you get into the room rentals because it may be 4 hours or all day. And same thing even with the shelters. So we would still recommend we keep our 2-hour minimum
Yes.
rental. So the actual fee then would be, either 85, or 100.
Right.
Then as you can see, there's some local complexes that are charging $100, to rent a field for an hour.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. My initial thought is just that 42.50 is an odd hourly rate.
Well, we don't actually do hourly rates. We just do the 2-hour minimum. It's
No,
just
I
that was just
understand.
to break it down. 85 would be the number for that.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, personally, I would split the difference and do 45. That's probably what I would do. I don't think $5 for 2 hours is going to scare anyone away. And so I think we'd be leaving money on the table if we did it that way. But I think, raising it up even further from there, give everyone time to get used to it. Those would be my thoughts.
Okay. So 90 for 2 hours then?
Those would be my thoughts, but it's open to discussion from everybody.
I'd be fine with that.
That sounds reasonable. I've got a couple questions about the banners.
Yeah.
Are we maintaining the banners after October?
Well, yes, we would take them down and we'd probably hold on to them in the meantime, yes.
Okay. And let's say that something bad happens during that season and we need to get another one. Are we going back to the sponsor for
Yes,
more money?
so if you actually read the very bottom line, it says if a banner is damaged due to weather or vandalism, the sponsor may be asked to replace it. We haven't ironed out every single detail with the sponsorship side of it yet. We were just trying to see an idea fee-wise
Yeah.
where your heads were at.
On this?
Yes,
I didn't read that. I was just looking at the chart. Sorry.
it's okay.
And maybe I'm missing it too, but on the banners, is that a one-time deal or is it an
Yes.
annual?
Well, it would be from April to October.
So every year, if I wanted to go a second year, I'd have to pay another 500?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine.
Guys, any other thoughts on the banners or the ballparks? Okay, should we move on to the community center and the shelter? Or which direction do you want us to go, John?
We'll go do the shelter next.
Okay, sounds good.
So the line charts are based on the same thing as the ball field rentals. So these are what other towns in the area are charging. I only did the all-day ones because that's how ours is set up. There are some that do like 3-hour minimums, but I'm not sure exactly how we would police that really. So we're gonna stick with the all-day rate. So currently, the fee is $90 for fewer than 75 guests, $180 for 75 to 150 and 270 for over 150. We are proposing that we just put that's for Reeder, Rorman, and Stevens shelter, because they're bigger than Plum Creek. So we are proposing that we drop the tiers and say that the shelter capacity is 100. You pay the flat fee of either 150 or 180. If you then want additional tables because you're going to have more people, it's $10 a table. Plum Creek, we did differently just because, like I said, it is smaller. So we are proposing 75 for capacity, and then 100 or 110 for the flat fee. And then again, if you want more tables, you pay $10 for additional tables.
So would the non-resident rate go up proportionately?
Yes, so those are down in the proposed fees. So if
Got it.
we did proposed A, it would be 150 for residents and 300 for non. If we did propose B, it would be 180 for residents and 360 for non,
Okay,
for the Reeder, Rorman, and Stevens. And then it would also go
I
up
see.
proportionally for Plum Creek.
I gotcha.
Any questions on those?
I don't have any questions. My thought would be doubling it seems like a big pill to swallow. We can always do this again next year
Yep.
if we aren't seeing a big reduction in demand. So I would think on the Reeder, Rorman, and Stevens, I would go to 150. On Plum Creek, $20 is not that big of a deal in my mind, so I would go to the 110. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Ed and Joe, any thoughts?
I'm comfortable with that. So proposed A for Reeder, Rorman, and proposed B for Plum Creek?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
my thought.
comfortable with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ed,
I'd agree, and it's, again, I didn't realize you guys had gone through this trouble, and thank you.
Yeah.
Because those would be the questions that I would be asking, and we would probably all be asking, is that where do we fit in the Northwest Indiana community? And thank you for doing that.
Keep in mind, I know, in this process, we've gotten feedback that, similar agencies are looking to increase as well.
Sure.
Yeah. So we might be behind the game. Yeah, right.
Where we would be at, we thought the scale would kind of be a better visual to give you an idea of where we're at. We're not on the low end, we're not on the high end.
I actually appreciate that a lot. Yeah.
But we still may very well be even with proposed increases similar to where we're at now on the scale, because these other towns are going to be increasing as well.
Gotcha.
I remember a few years ago when we did, I'm going a few years ago, when we increased some fees, and I remember telling someone, and they're like, oh yeah, we're at, they were at, they're like, yeah, we gotta increase ours, we're way too low. I think we just caught up to you and now.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So no questions on that?
Jump to community center?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
So these are based on weekend rates for area, for other places in the area. I broke our price by hour, because we do a 4-hour minimum, but Highland does 3-hour minimum. So I broke them all down by hour.
Okay.
So our proposal is to go up 25% for proposed A, or we could do 50% with proposed B. 50% actually comes from if you're looking at our fees now, basically you would take the non-resident fee and it would become the resident fee.
Gotcha.
So these are all resident fees, though,
I gotcha.
right now.
And then obviously the non-resident fee would follow up ahead of that.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll give you one more thank you for putting in green at the very bottom, the current revenue.
Yes.
That helps also.
Also, just to note, it's difficult to do apples to apples, just because, different places have different size rooms.
Sure.
So this is the best that I could do. I know it looks like our proposed fees are going to be on the higher end, but, if I did a more scaled, a wider net with that, we could probably find more that were, more comparable, but this is what is comparable in the area around us right now.
So I have one observation.
Yes.
And that is A and B together is the same as C.
Yes, and that is because room C comes with a full kitchen.
Right.
Whereas room A comes with a kitchenette. So you get more space with A and B, but you don't get the full kitchen. You just get a refrigerator, sink, and microwave.
Yeah, but what are people, you tell me, are people like arbitraging this? Like, are they using the kitchen a lot? Like, do they need the oven and the stove and the sink? And all
Room C is my most popular requested.
Really?
Because of the kitchen.
Because of the kitchen? or
Because of the kitchen.
Physical space, okay.
No,
So-
because of the kitchen.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. That's a reasonable justification. Personally, I feel comfortable with proposal B. I think that's a reasonable rate to charge, given how big the spaces are. That's my view. I don't know, what do you guys think?
John, are you looking for, are you looking for a determination? Are you looking for a feel on how we should be doing from the board?
Obviously, we're hopeful that we have the other two members here to get, a full kind of input from the board. But we're kind of looking for a feel. This will have to be put in the form of a resolution. Christian will have to draft. That would be pretty much one part of it, and I guess there would be an appendix or addendum to that resolution that would actually could be the finalized fee that we determine, and that could be done at a study session again in October if we want to do prior to the October meeting, or it probably could be done at that meeting, right?
As far as taking a vote on the resolution? Yeah.
Yeah, if the fees are, penciled in and finalized,
Yeah, if you'd like me to do it that way, I could write a resolution that just kind of, I guess, leaves the blanks, and you could write them in, and or I could write a generalized resolution, and you could bring some schedules that references schedules, and we could just attach those to the resolution. That way.
That seems like the smarter way to go. Yeah. Let's do that.
That way you bring, 2 or 3 proposals to study session, you decide which one you
Yeah.
like, and then we just go with that.
I like that idea. Yeah. Okay, anything else that we need to look at? Oh, just activity schedule? Is that the last one?
yeah, we go over that real quick.
Sure.
Some wide ranges.
So the activity fee schedule, has been condensed in kind of, some of the redundancies, in the schedule through the years. We had very specific specific programs and trips. We had, maybe Cubs trip, we had, what was it, Kentucky springtime trip?
Yeah, so there's a lot of titles that are on this activity fee schedule, and sometimes we have an issue putting certain events or programs or trips under different titles because they don't kind of mesh. So we're kind of throwing darts at a board here. So what I did was I condensed it down. We all talked about, let's just say for instance, we have an all ages camps or programs. So originally we just had it where it was camps and programs, but then every single program had its own column, or I'm sorry, row. I did go up to 300 on that just to give a bigger, broad range. It was $55 to $150. I do have one error on here where it says breakfast with Santa. That should be holiday breakfast. I don't know how I missed that, but so, I'm trying to see what I should. Okay, so we'll point out trips. Trips, like he said, every single Cubs game was on here. If we were going Shipshawana, anything, it was literally titled that. So I condensed it down to just day trips. And then we also have overnight trips. Let me point out though that since I've been here, we've never done overnight trips, but I think we just kind of feel comfortable leaving that there because that could be something that we would get into and we wouldn't have to keep coming back and forth to amend this and add more rows to it.
Yeah.
So all of these ranges, myself, Kristen, Carly, and John, we went over these one by one, and we made sure that the current programs that we have now will fit within this range, and also, so just because with the price of inflation on everything, products that we use,
Yeah.
so yeah. Is there any that stand out to you that you want to go over?
Nope.
The ranges are so wide.
Yeah, have we
Right.
always had the non-resident fee?
Oh, so that one was 5% to 75. I did up it to 100%.
Yeah, or 200% or whatever. I mean,
I had a reasoning behind that, but the reasoning actually didn't have anything to do with the activity fee schedule. It was just more of an example with the shelter rentals for non-residents. The
Yeah.
price is basically doubled.
Right.
So that's 100%. So I just feel that we would be a little more comfortable having that. So if something does come up and we're saying, hey, for this ticket, it's more for residents, but we will have non-residents, but they're just have to pay a different fee.
Yeah.
But mostly we're at 20%.
For the majority of our
Yes.
programs, we are at 20%.
Correct.
Okay.
Inflation.
And what's kind of difficult with some of the programs, we may have a 4-week program that meets once a week, or maybe twice a week for 6 weeks. So,
Yeah.
when you see $5, that could be a one session, one single activity. With some of these programs, we're repeating them so often, it almost makes sense to have a 10-week session or a 12-week where, every 4 or 6 weeks you got to sign up again for this class or this exercise class. So if we do that, obviously the fees could be.
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
So it
Yeah.
gives a little more flexibility, and some of it's based on the instructor who's teaching the program, some of it's just what fits in with the calendar. Really, we just tried to keep our main programs that we have, but kind of not be so specific, because we had so many different craft programs and trips and different things through the years that every time we offered a new program under a different name, that particular name was included on this.
Right. Yeah.
We
That's
got 4 different things.
that's a nightmare.
Same
Yeah.
program. An example would be holiday hunts. We had flashlight egg hunt, we had candy cane hunt, and, let's just call it holiday hunts. And it's,
Right.
So,
Thank you. We all appreciate the condensing of the activity fee schedule. I think we can all say that for sure. Any questions on any of
The only
this?
question I have is on this one, if it's on average 20% increase, what would be the proposed or the best guess for the dollar amount? I mean, additional revenue that we could
That's hard to
expect.
say because it's going to be, I mean, I don't think they could estimate that at all
Well,
because,
what's the current revenue? I mean, you add 20% to that. So what's that?
We didn't up it by 20%. The 20% was the non-resident rate that we charge.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's non-resident?
Yes.
Yeah, like Brett,
it's going to differ from, you know, I don't think we can get a good estimate on that at this point. I
Yeah,
mean, maybe you
that's
guys
a
can
hard
have
one
something
to, that's
for
a hard
study
one to
session, but-
estimate, just because you never know. Some programs, sometimes we get a bite, sometimes, you know, we don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do fantastic, other times they completely fail. So it really just depends.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to estimate.
Because not all that revenue is in the community center sheets, is it? You know, you've got, I mentioned, you've got the community center and you've got the shelter's current revenue year-to-date at the bottom of those. That doesn't encompass,
Excuse me.
it's a separate fund.
Yep,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Any other, great question though, Joe. Any other questions from the board? Okay, so just to clarify, we're not actually voting on this tonight. Tabling it.
Taking it however you want. It'll become, yeah, it'll become a business at the next meeting, and you can
Excellent.
actually hold a vote.
Okay. Any other?
We would then have, attorney draft a resolution for next meeting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a generalized resolution and then just reference to, what do we have, 3 or
Fee
4
schedule.
exhibits, and you guys can choose which ones you want to use, and then we'll have the resolution in hand to vote on at the next meeting.
Awesome. Okay. Any business from the floor? No? Motion to adjourn? Wait, next meeting is October
October 1st.
1st. Okie dokie. All right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Meeting is adjourned.